The dancing, you know, music, stuff like that, a few hors d'oeuvres.
Tune in for Monkey Mondays, Lucy Tuesdays, Bewitched Bewitched.
Lunch, of course. Then we'd start to walk over here, and all the teachers would go, he's cutting class, and they would go to follow us.
We'll see him blossom on stage at New York's famous Improv.
He kind of leapfrogged over a bunch of people right away because of his presence and his talent.
And we'll watch Joe make his bones on Saturday Night Live.
Joe was the one that proposed a 21-year-old kid to come on the show, that being Eddie Murphy.
We'll see him fight for his life.
I was about 30, 31 years old, that I was going to die by 35.
Fight for his child.
As far as the courts go, everything seemed against Dad.
And fight criticism over his controversial relationship.
So what? I was a babysitter, big deal.
This is the story of a man whose personal battles nearly overshadowed a standout professional career.
They think I do drugs? Hey, man, I must look really good.
This is the story of Joe Piscopo.
The big story, me!
The true Hollywood story.
Her life's ambition was to be a star.
Never recover from the public scandal.
Good morning. Thank you for tuning in.
I'm the news. Late breaking, ongoing, anything that happens has to go through me. I never wanted to be a star. I'm a working stiff actor.
Light tastes great, but these beanpoles probably drink it because it's less filling.
I'm a working stiff entertainer. I have a blue-collar mentality from my grandfather. I'm just born to do this.
Joe Piscopo's grandfather, Rosario, left Avellino, Italy in the early 1900s, a skilled worker who longed for a better life in the New World.
My grandfather came from Italy and made hats in New York, had a hat shop on Bloomfield Avenue in Newark.
Rosario's son, Joseph, studied law and graduated from Rutgers University in 1941, right before he was drafted.
Pop was in the Second World War defending Italy. A little town called Prato la Sera are the Piscopos. And he was captain. He came back as a hero and marched through the streets that my grandfather, his father, was born in and around.
Following the war, Joseph returned to Newark, New Jersey, married sweetheart Edith LaMagna, and started a private law practice.
He did workman's compensation. He was very, very good at it. And if anyone was in trouble, he would go out of his way to try to help them.
Joseph and Edith were blessed with 3 children, Carol, Richie, and Joe Jr., born on June 17, 1951.
He was the middle child, our middle child. He was born on Father's Day, and I'll never forget, it's the best gift we ever had.
Sister, Carol Haroldson.
Joe had no qualms about being the center of attention. I mean, if my parents were having a party, he would think nothing of coming downstairs and doing a little performance.
Brother, Richie Piscopo.
He's a creative force. He has a real high energy, and it was that way around the house. He made movies, you know, with my sister and I, and he would get out the old 8mm movie camera and make films.
In 1966, the Piscopos moved from their home in Bloomfield, New Jersey, to suburban West Essex.
We went up the mountain to the yuppie area because my parents were going to do better for us, see? But everybody wore Madras and penny loafers, and they joined country clubs, and I hated it. I remember the first day of school, I cut class the first day of school. It is a bright guy.
Joe eventually showed up at West Essex High School and quickly established a reputation as a prankster and class clown.
Class jerk is more like it. I don't even think I was funny when I think about it. Please let me out of school, please, I can't stand it. This is the way I should have been. This is the way I should have been with a little number underneath it.
Cousin, Paul LaMagna.
We went to the same high school up at West Essex Regional in North Cornwall. I always saw him heading out over the hill or through the woods somehow. He was, you know, blowing a cigarette or what have you, leaving for the day.
I used to cut class during lunch, of course. Then we'd start to walk over here, and all the teachers would go, he's cutting class, and they would go to follow us. And so as they would follow us, thinking we were coming in this door, I would backtrack and then run the long way around. It was a game.
Joe had but one passion in high school, theater.
My sister introduced me to the drama coach at the high school and said, my brother's not settling in as well as we had hoped. And Charles E. Gaunt, my drama coach, took all of us that were jocks and problem kind of kids and put us on stage. And this is where Chuck Gaughan, our drama teacher, used to come in. God bless him, he had a big gut and a big butt and a little goatee. And he'd say, "Come on, people, what are you doing? Let's go now, huh? Oh, Joey, what are you doing?"
Joe craved attention and found it on stage. In his senior year, 17-year-old Piscopo won the prestigious Lincoln Center Student Arts Award.
That was real big time for us. I mean, here we were in a little town in Jersey, and I was supposed to go to like NYU to theater school, but I was just, again, such a screw up.
Joe's grades kept him out of New York University. He graduated from West Essex in the spring of 1969. A free spirit with few options.
I used to be a garbage man. I worked on what they call the slop route. The slop route picks up garbage from grocery stores, hotels, restaurants, you know. Matter of fact, some of the best years of my life were spent on this very truck.
Piscopo's garbage route would not, however, protect him from the draft. The thought of Joe fighting in Vietnam terrified his father, and Joe was painfully aware that his high school performance was subpar.
And he said, "You gotta go to college." And I couldn't get in anywhere. I was such a bad kid.
After an exhaustive search, Joe's father located a school that would take his miscreant son.
The whole family be talking about Joey. Oh, yeah, okay. He's going to college. Yeah, where's he going? You know.
It was called Jones College in Jacksonville, Florida. You've heard of Smith? This is Jones. And it had like these pictures of all these buildings. I'm going, oh, look at that campus. Wow, they'll accept me? Yes, they will.
Joe buckled down and focused on getting a degree in broadcast management.
That school that I make fun of, Jones College, was a great broadcasting school. 4 radio stations, and I got totally enamored with radio.
During his junior year, Piscopo met a senior co-ed named Nancy Jones.
We met down there, and she was a country girl from Florida, and I was the Jersey boy, you know.
Joe and Nancy dated for the next year, and in 1973, after Piscopo graduated, the couple got engaged and returned to New Jersey to get married.
I was a real jerk, and I just didn't, think about the church, the holy sacrament of marriage. You know what I mean? We just did it, and I went home. And I remember being with my buddies, and we were after the ceremony. Come on, let's go out drinking.
Joe had a wife and a college degree, but he still lacked ambition.
My plans back then: have a beer and just to go hang and watch the Yankees. Pretty much was my plans back then.
Coming up, Saturday Night Dead.
You couldn't replace John Belushi and, oh my gosh, Danny Aykroyd and Gilda. And I knew whoever followed these guys, it was going to be a nosedive.
Hi, I'm Jules Asner with your E! News Update. Former President Clinton joined superstars like Whoopi Goldberg, Sylvester Stallone, and the cast of Ally McBeal over the weekend for a charity fundraiser here in Los Angeles. Meanwhile, David Copperfield was rushed to a Manhattan hospital Friday. The magician collapsed while rehearsing for a network special. And join us tomorrow for a candid chat with Renee Zellweger about her new movie with Hugh Grant. Be there for E! News Daily weeknights at 6:30. We're your source for entertainment news.
I've left something for you. Time to get back to work, Dr. Cross. This Friday.
Look at this!
Oh my God. From the best-selling novel. This is a message. I'm ruthless. I'm in control. This is between me and you. Morgan Freeman. He's turned it into a game. Monica Potter. I'm living proof that a mind is a terrible thing. Along Came a Spider. Rated R. Starts Friday everywhere.
Working out was not working out. I needed a pad. Meg only had tampons. Playtex Gentle Glide. Wait, is this gonna be comfortable? And Meg says, like pads are, even the thinnest ones feel like a diaper.
Playtex protection adjusts to comfort fit. No pad can do that.
Great move. I couldn't even feel it.
So they're more than invisible. They're completely comfortable. Playtex Gentle Glide tampons.
So comfortable, you can't even feel them. Yeah.
Rockport. Footwear, apparel, and accessories. Call 1-800-ROCKPORT or visit rockport.com for the store nearest you.
The rise of a wine pioneer, the inventive years. At the helm of the Sutter Home Winery, Bob put the task to his employees to revolutionize the industry. They came to him with ideas. Other ideas soon followed. The Merlotsicle was among them. Then came the Cabernet in a can debacle. But Bob had an idea of his own, to invent a wine that millions would grow to love, and that wine was White Zinfandel. Sutter Home, taste the commitment.
This portion of E! is brought to you by Sutter Home. Sutter Home, taste the commitment.
Joe Piscopo was a footloose man who planned his life one day at a time. It wasn't that he didn't have talent, he just didn't know how to express it. Then, he found comedy.
I said, I'm going to try to do stand-up comedy for 5 minutes so I can be noticed by an agent.
In the winter of 1976, Joe Piscopo found work as a disc jockey for station WBUD in Trenton, New Jersey. He earned $160 a week spinning records. Piscopo was on the air, but he was unsatisfied.
At one point I said, okay, I got to get a handle on this. What do I want to do? I wanted to be an actor, a working actor. So how do I do that?
One way was by testing his ability as a comedian. Piscopo had seen ordinary people step in front of an audience at an open mic show at the Improv, a Manhattan comedy landmark. Joe decided to give it a try.
I'm driving from Jersey, it's cold, it's February, and I go to the Lincoln Tunnel, and they have audition night on Monday nights at the Improvisation, and I'm going up 9th Avenue, and I look, there must have been 200 people lined up outside the Improvisation. And I just looked, and I went, I'm going back home. I didn't even get out of the car, went back through the Lincoln Tunnel, and went back to Jersey. I was petrified.
The following week, Joe drove back to the club. Summoning every bit of courage, he stepped on stage, told some jokes, and did some impersonations. Former Improv manager Chris Albrecht.
Joe had auditioned for the club and got accepted from auditions. One of the important jobs for the MC is to try to keep the crowd as long as possible, because that's the way the club sells the most drinks, and that's the way the most comedians get to go on in any one night. And Joe was very skilled in keeping everything going. He was very personable with the crowd, and yet he had a good commanding presence, so he was able to give people very good intros, guys like Jimmy Brogan.
He had a voice from doing radio, and so when he got up on stage, he had such authority when he got up there. You know, he just wasn't a new kind of nervous kid, you know. He came up and said, you know, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and people listened, you know, and to get a New York crowd to listen is really something, and Joe was good.
Every night, Joe drove 2 hours from his home in Plainsboro, New Jersey, to the Improv in New York City, all for a measly $25 a night. Comic actor Robert Wool.
Back then, there was only 2 or 3 comedy clubs. You didn't have the proliferation of so many rooms, so you had to be fairly good. You had to have fairly good material to get on stage.
Working the Improv was hardly a way to make a living, but Joe's versatility paid off in other ways.
Very quickly, agents hired me, and they started me doing just character commercials. I got a big national spot for Buick, and they took me out to General Motors. That was a big thing for me.
What can you get for $6,110 these days? 3/4 of a Datsun 810. About 2/3 of an Audi 5000. Or all of a full-size Buick LeSabre.
The national spots paid thousands of dollars. For the first time in his adult life, Joe was financially solvent, just in time for a new arrival. On January 30th, 1979, Joseph Jonathan Piscopo was born. A father at 28, Joe was a rare animal on the comedy circuit.
One of the few at the Improv who had a child, you know, when none of us were all kids.
I was the outcast. Wow, Joe had a kid. Wow, he had a baby. You mean like a baby? You mean he walks around and things, and you change the diapers? Yeah, I changed it. Oh my gosh.
For 4 years, Piscopo emceed at the Improv, which along with LA's Comedy Store, was riding the wave of the comedy boom.
Everybody came through there. It was so exciting. The crowd was like, Robin Williams. Robin would walk in, the place would go crazy, and he would do like 15 killer minutes. Or Rodney would walk in, and Rodney got the biggest laughs out of anybody. He would make that room explode. They were exciting times. But still, I didn't want to be a comic. I just wanted to be working actor.
In addition to managing the Improv, Chris Albrecht also managed comics, including Piscopo. In the summer of 1980, Albrecht told Joe about an incredible opportunity.
They were going to change the cast and the producer of Saturday Night Live. And they were looking for new people, and one of the things that they were willing to do was look at stand-ups, which often when television shows were casting, stand-ups were not very desirable because the rap was stand-ups couldn't act. And Joe was somebody I really believed in. Joe wasn't really that enthusiastic about the idea because he really saw himself more as an actor than a sketch comedy player.
You couldn't replace John Belushi and, oh my gosh, Danny Aykroyd and Gilda. And I knew whoever followed these guys, it was going to be a nosedive.
Following the 1979-1980 season, Saturday Night Live producer Lorne Michaels left the show along with the cast. The new producer, a woman named Jean Domanion, looked for fresh talent from New York's comedy clubs. Former Saturday Night Live writer Pamela Norris.
We were up in Studio AH where the show was shot, and then they brought out the performers who were auditioning one by one, just a spotlight in their eyes and a microphone, and they were told to do 5 minutes. Joe was a stand-up, so when he came out, he had 5 minutes. He had 5 pretty good minutes, and he killed.
After several callbacks, NBC hired Piscopo as a not-ready-for-primetime player. But before the new cast was finalized, Joe lobbied for a young, unknown comic from Long Island to audition.
I said, you know, I may be wrong, but this guy seems pretty talented to me, meaning Eddie Murphy. They brought Eddie over, and we did the old Chevy Chase, Richard Pryor sketch about word association. He just smoked it. And then they started saying, well, maybe he does have some talent.
Eddie Murphy was added to the cast. Joe Piscopo was simply happy to be working.
I just didn't care, nor did I think in a million years that I would be hired. I'm a working stiff, I'm a utility guy, because that's what I am in this business. You know, let's see, what do we need? We can't get that done, we can't get so-and-so. Get Joe, we'll get the job done.
Coming up.
They took this freaking tumor out of my throat, I couldn't believe it. Holy, you seen this tumor? It was a freaking pumpkin.
John Candy was a big talent.
Tom Hanks was in awe of John Candy.
With a big heart.
The entire country fell in love with John Candy.
He had that all-round appeal. And a big problem.
John was incredibly overweight, and he didn't seem happy.
There would be some wild nights, long, hard nights, and he had to keep up with John.
It's the story you haven't heard.
It was like a sad ending that you saw coming.
John Candy, tomorrow at 9 on the E! True Hollywood Story.
I learned a new song. I learned this. I learned to read.
The jet. Zip.
Introducing the Leap Pad from Leapfrog.
Stumbled
Out of bed.
It brings a complete library of books to life and teaches kids to read.
Utah.
And I learned to
And
stay.
so much more.
And I learned music.
The Leap Pad from Leapfrog.
The handcrafting, the pruning, the selection, the anticipation, the patience, the timing, the moment. Turning leaf, handcrafted for moments like these.
They're the risk takers who turn fantasy into reality. What is a producer? An E! News special this Saturday at 8, only on E!
Nassim Hamed.
I'm the champion of the world.
If you think he's all attitude, you've never seen how hard he hits. But he has. Marco Antonio Barrera. He can make Nads feel the heat. They're the two best in the world, and one of them is gonna get burned. Hamed versus Barrera, April 7th, live.
The action is in demand. Pay-per-view for the demanding viewer. You rule.
Let's get it on!
Get in. Strap down. Hold on. New Technicoaster. Now at Legoland. Now get one free kids ticket with any $19.99 Lego purchase from Toys R Us.
In the fall of 1980, a 29-year-old working stiff actor named Joe Piscopo joined NBC's Saturday Night Live. While the new cast prepared to win over the television audience, Joe got ready for the fight of his life.
When you get that C word, that just changes your life like nothing else.
The second generation of not ready for primetime players debuted on November 15, 1980. Reviews were disappointing. TV Guide writer Tim Williams.
The 80-81 season is considered by most people to be the worst season of Saturday Night Live. It was basically panned by the critics from the moment it came on the air.
I felt so bad, man. You know, it was like, hey, you're the new guy for the new Saturday Night Live, right? I go, yeah. They go, you suck. You know, I was like, oh, God.
The show sunk to such depths that executives at NBC almost pulled the plug.
The only person really hoping that they could revive the show was Brandon Tartikoff, who petitioned to keep the show on the air and brought in a new producer, Dick Ebersol.
Ebersol took over the reins of Saturday Night Live and fired the entire cast, with two exceptions.
And those two people were Eddie Murphy and Joe Piscopo. And it was pretty obvious the reason he kept those two people.
They were the two people for those 1 or 2 years that really stuck out on Saturday Night Live.
New writers and supporting players like Robin Duke joined the show. The Toronto native was overwhelmed by the Big Apple.
I just felt like I lived at Rockefeller Center. I'd get there, in the afternoon because you'd stay till 3 or 4 in the morning. You're under a lot of pressure to get it done and on the air in a short period of time, and to get laughs on top of that.
By the end of the 1981-82 season, Saturday Night Live sketches were water cooler topics again. 30-year-old Joe Piscopo and his 21-year-old sidekick, Eddie Murphy, were becoming stars.
This is my favorite characters I probably did on Saturday Night Live, where we did Solomon and Pudge. And Eddie and I created those characters, and we did them at the piano, and it was semi-sweet, it was serious, and it took a little patience, it took some acting, stuff like that, so very proud of that.
But Joe's 6-year marriage to wife Nancy was deteriorating under the pressure of new fame.
My mom's a very private person. Dad started to get more popular thing and stuff like that. That started kind of infringing on her life a lot.
For the sake of their son, Joe and Nancy agreed to stay together. The strained atmosphere at home and the tough regimen of Saturday Night Live left Joe physically run down. The 30-year-old actor turned to his family for help.
I had a sore throat, and so I went and visited my brother-in-law, my sister's husband. My brother-in-law says, hey, you got a tumor in your throat. He's an ear, nose, and throat guy. He wasn't just an arbitrary brother-in-law. Oh, no, there's no way I have a tumor. So we go to the doctor, in New York. Who's an expert, and he checks it out, and darn if I don't have they think a tumor in my throat. They take a biopsy. Thank God I can laugh about it now. The doctor comes with this needle, and you go, what are you doing? Just want to check if it's benign or malignant, how big this tumor is, checking it out. They drove the needle right in my throat. And the doctor said, maybe left, he said, don't move. I said, yeah, I was thinking of dancing right now.
Lying flat on his back with his health in question, Joe searched for a bright side.
And they said it might be malignant, and we got to take it out. There I am, in 1981. I was doing all these voices on Saturday Night Live. The nerve that controls your vocal cord is wrapped around the thyroid itself. And if they have to get the thyroid out, they have to take the nerve of the vocal. I didn't know if they could nick it, you could lose your voice. I'm saying, oh, man.
After the procedure, Joe returned for the live show at Rockefeller Center, never letting on that his career and his life were in jeopardy.
Did the show with Billy Murray, hosted it, got up the next morning and did an NFL show when Brian Gumbel was doing it, went right to the hospital, and they cut me the next day. And they went in, they took a tumor the size of an egg out. I remember waking up, and they said it was benign. Of course it was benign. I'm not gonna have cancer, everything going like this. I got this beat, not a problem.
Coming up.
The doctor calls, and I get a message on the answering machine. Call me, Joe, it's an emergency.
It was the most impressive thing I'd ever seen.
I owe a good portion of my career to Gary.
I wish I knew his secret. I'd steal it.
I'd call him passionate.
From stage to screen, Gary Sinise is a class act.
I'm always one who thinks I've got to work a little bit harder.
Now, hear what played a role in his success.
A lot of fear goes a long way.
And how he survived some bad scenes.
It was painful that it happened.
Real stars, real stories. Gary Sinise Celebrity Profile, this Wednesday at 10, only on E!
Lowest fare available.
I made it.
Seat 9A, window. Convertible. 4 nights, Villa B. Okay.
The view.
Maybe 6.
I think you'll like it.
Over 700 airlines, 45,000 hotel properties, 50 rental car companies. Travelocity.com. Go virtually anywhere.
Bring in your appetite, people. Applebee's all-you-can-eat riblets are back. Our one-of-a-kind smoked riblets. All you can eat. It's got to be Applebee's.
Has my attitude changed since I saw my first tiny line? No, only my makeup. Smooth Result Age Minimizing Makeup, new from Maybelline. It smooths away those first little lines that you can definitely live without. It's weightless, packed with moisture, all the right vitamins, and some serious sun protection. The result? A fresh, smooth, naturally glowing you. New Smooth Result Age Minimizing Makeup from Maybelline. Now that's smooth.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Pepperidge Farm Sausalito cookies. Mounds of chocolate and macadamia nuts. Hey, if you're gonna have a cookie, have a cookie. Pepperidge Farm. Never have an ordinary day.
Gentlemen, the Axiom has a 230 horsepower V6. Our commercial opens in New York City.
I love this town.
Then we go to Sweden to show off our dual mode suspension. For beauty shots, Maui at sunset. So, what do you think?
You wish.
You want incredible color.
But you also want incredible hair.
Intense color, lasting color.
Color that loves your hair.
Hydrians. Incredible color that's incredibly gentle.
Its unique water-based color cream hydrates your hair with pure, permanent color.
Nothing penetrates deeper to cover gray better or last longer.
But Hydrians won't shock your hair.
So you get
color that's rich
and shining.
Hydrians by Clairol. A beauty all your own.
For the latest on your favorite celebrities, check out Entertainment's homepage at www.eonline.com or America Online keyword E !
In December 1981, doctors removed an egg-sized tumor from Joe Piscopo's throat. While waiting for lab tests, the up-and-coming star of Saturday Night Live took stock of his life.
I was about 30, 31 years old that I was going to die by 35.
The initial report following the removal of Joe's tumor showed no signs of cancer. But several weeks after surgery, the 30-year-old comic received a phone call from his doctor.
They had cut into the tumor and found that there was a medullary carcinoma. There was cancer. So he called me and explained to me that your insurance rates are going to change. You're going to have to take care of yourself. We want you to take radiation.
Suddenly, Joe's life or death situation wasn't so funny.
And I didn't tell anybody. I remember telling Eddie, but I didn't tell anybody else because you didn't tell people that, It was almost 20 years ago, and you didn't talk about it. It was a tough time, and I chose not to take the radiation. They told me to take radiation to dissolve the rest of the thyroid, because now they have cancer. And I said, can you guarantee that radiation won't cause further cancer? And no, we can't guarantee it. And this was back then. And I said, I'm not going to take the radiation.
In lieu of radiation, Joe followed doctors' advice to eat healthy and start exercising. The strategy worked, and Joe was given a clean bill of health.
That's where my perspective really changed. I think that had something to do with my first marriage ending as well.
Both Joe and Nancy agreed that since Joe became a celebrity, their relationship was in steady decline. But their commitment as parents kept them together.
For 2 years after the marriage started to go, I wouldn't leave. I actually stayed there, and then told my wife, I said, do you want me to leave? She goes, yeah, it's time for you to leave. And I did the Cramden, you want me to leave, Alice? Are you sure you want me to leave? I know that you know that I know. I'm leaving. I'm leaving, Alice.
Joe and Nancy separated, but agreed to raise their 4-year-old son, Joey, together.
I had 2 parents that loved me, and I spent time with Mom, and I stayed at her house, and I spent time with Dad and at his house. And the only thing that really changed was just location.
Throughout his 3rd season on SNL, Piscopo juggled joint custody of his son with the hectic schedule of a weekly live show.
It was a battle every single week. I can't emphasize enough. To this day, my heart goes out to all the talent on that show, because it's a producer show. It's not it should be a writer show, and it's not. It's a producer show. The producer is boss. And what the producer says is, that's it.
In that intense environment, Piscopo created his most indelible characters.
He loved his characters. He couldn't get up there and do a vicious imitation of somebody. He admired those guys.
Joe's favorite, the chairman of the board.
Definitely his Sinatra, which might have been the first time that someone did a Sinatra impersonation that kind of made fun of the older Sinatra.
The hell are you doing here? Get out of my face.
One of the stories that came out of those years of Saturday Night Live is that Joe demanded to host the show as Frank Sinatra.
Hey, there's a great comedy idea. Put the Sinatra makeup on for 90 minutes and host the show. How do these ideas get out there? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Sinatra. Jilly, get me a couple of wet ones. All right, let's get some broads. Let's get this show going, baby. All right, we're doing 13 more sketches. That won't get old, will it?
In the fall of 1983, Eddie Murphy and Joe Piscopo started their fourth and final season on Saturday Night Live. Murphy signed a lucrative deal to appear in feature films. Piscopo started to contemplate his own future.
Eddie was leaving, and I just didn't want to really be there anymore.
This is strictly my opinion, is that Eddie's success, if there's such a thing, went to Joe's head.
They always talked about movies. Anybody else would have ridden the coattails. It's not in my nature to do that. If it happened, great. If it didn't happen, great. You know, we got our lives. I just cherished the moments that we had. Sound like a couple there, you know? Cherish the moments that we had together.
Coming up, Joe finds a new partner to cherish.
I was a babysitter, big deal.
It was a comic revolution.
On stage that night, David Letterman, Robin Williams, and Jay Leno.
With a feisty former housewife, it's visionary.
As long as Mitzi Shore has a breath in her body, the Comedy Store will be open.
And despite tragedy...
The suicide note was, I used to work at the Comedy Store.
And plenty of chaos.
Oh, don't take a Quaalude and go in the pool.
The Comedy Store has never lost its sense of humor.
Not everyone can do comedy.
The Comedy Store, this Sunday at 9 on the E! True Hollywood Story.
Lobster Fest is back. Time to go overboard with all the mouth-watering lobster you can sink your teeth into. So come in for Lobster Fest and go overboard.
Ever thought about what could happen in 3 short days? You could fall in love. You could, with appliances that are eager to please and know their way around a kitchen. We'll fix you up at the Sears 72-hour sale. It's your chance to get 0% financing through August 2001 on all appliances over $399 and live, well, happily ever after. And hurry, with this much going for them, they won't be available forever. The 72-hour sale at Sears. The good life at a great price, guaranteed.
Every specially marked Tic Tac pack is worth a point.
No!
That's my raft. Towards all new incredible stuff.
My scooter!
Just peel the points and send them in.
That's my digital camera.
Get Tic Tacs and get all new incredible stuff.
At Pearl Vision, we'll help you select eyewear as individual as you are. Right now, save $75 on glasses with micro thins, the thinnest, lightest, most scratch-resistant lens in sight.
Nobody cares for eyes more than Pearl.
I couldn't have orchestrated a bigger travesty if I had tried. We're on our way to a party at a boss's house. As usual, I'd made us late. That's when it happened. I was horrified. When she rolled over, she was laughing so hard she could barely breathe. We never made it to the party.
So how are we getting home? Good question.
Hop on in, guys.
File this under never. When you need a ride, save big bucks and dial 1-800-CALLATT for collect calls.
Available this summer, the all-new Jaguar X-Type, the evolution of automotive luxury. Log on to www.xtype.com for more information.
During his 4 seasons on Saturday Night Live, Joe Piscopo secretly battled thyroid cancer and watched his 10-year marriage fall apart. But the biggest fight in Piscopo's life went down in the New Jersey courtroom.
I'm sure the judge said, what is this guy running around, doing all these dates around the country, and he's got the babysitter? I think I had no chance right then and there.
In the spring of 1984, 33-year-old Joe Piscopo traveled to Los Angeles for his first job since leaving Saturday Night Live. The film was Johnny Dangerously, a gangster comedy starring Michael Keaton and Mary Lou Henner. Piscopo played an evil hitman in the movie, which received mixed reviews in the summer of 1984.
The film opened marginally, though. It didn't do what they thought it would. And we just did it and had a time of my life doing it. And Joey was so cute at the time, and I have a picture of Joey and I on the set, and it was a lot of fun.
Separated for nearly a year, Joe and Nancy shared custody of their 5-year-old son.
My wife stayed in the little house that we were in, and it was great because we had total joint custody of Joey, and he would come stay with me, and I would take him to school in the morning. She would pick him up. Fabulous. It was just, everything was working out great.
In the fall of 1984, Piscopo returned to television with a comedy special for HBO.
Hello again, everybody. Joe Piscopo, HBO Sports.
For the first time since leaving Saturday Night Live, Joe Piscopo and Eddie Murphy worked as a team. The sketch also starred veteran actor Joseph Bologna.
Joe is just this big, open, good-hearted guy who is very appreciative of other people's talent, and just fun to be around.
Carl, the Reverend says he can beat you. What's the story?
Who, the Reverend down there?
Reverend Jimmy, that's right.
Hey, man, I'm Carl Lewis, man. How the Reverend go? He gonna hear this person make him beat me? I'm the fastest man in the world. I've raced horses, man. How this man in a wheelchair gonna beat me? I'm Carl Lewis. These people know. How this man gonna beat me? I'm Carl Lewis, man. I've raced horses. I'm the fastest man in the world. I am the fastest man in the world, Joe Piscopo.
He always did really well in those short bits. And probably where he was really effective was in the Miller Lite commercial, the Miller beer commercials. He was very effective in those.
When I played hoops, I could beat anybody. Still can. Yo, cheap little one-on-one or what?
Joe's unique mix of characters made him an excellent pitchman. Director Bob Giraldi.
Joe and I had a relationship, and we just liked each other, two Italian boys from New Jersey. Joe is really funny. The Wrestler and Bruce Lee Piscopo, and it was just terrific, and it caught on.
The Miller Lite commercials also showed the public a side of Piscopo they had never seen before.
After I had that thyroid cancer, the doctors told me I had to get better and I had to start working out. And then I saw Springsteen start to work out. He was a big influence, seeing Jersey boy Bruce starting to really doing good.
In 1987, the New Jersey influence helped Piscopo land a beefy part in the gangster comedy Wise Guys, his first starring role. Wise Guys was a disappointment at the box office. Joe's personal life did not fare much better. Separated for nearly 3 years, Joe and Nancy began divorce proceedings in 1987.
The split was amicable initially. Then my ex says, I'm moving back to Florida and I'm taking Joey with me.
Then Dad got into it and said, no, you can't move him to Florida. And that ensued, and he asked me, what do you want to do? I said, Dad, I want things to stay the way they are.
I dropped everything and I said, I'm fighting this. This is wrong. And it was wrong.
Joe prepared for a nasty custody battle. But in the summer of 1987, a chance meeting became an even bigger distraction.
I went to an ice cream shop in a little town called Closter, New Jersey, and I brought Joey in with me. And there was this vision of absolute incredible beauty behind the ice cream counter. Is this unbelievable, this story? It's true. And I went, oh my gosh. I said, Kimberly, is that you?
18-year-old Kimberly Driscoll was Joey's babysitter 7 years earlier.
When I started on SNL, about 1980, 81, she would babysit. She changed Joey's diapers, which he loves to hear.
I was a senior in high school, so that's when I saw him. And I still kind of thought of him as, hey, Joe, how you doing? Good to see you, hey. We started talking, and we just really hit it off in a way that, like, I've never really done before.
Joe and Kimberly started to spend more time together.
One night we were out and he was holding my hand. We went to a comedy club and he was doing a set and he was holding my hand. I said, oh wow, he's holding my hand, And at 18 years old, you think, oh wow, he's holding my hand. This is romantic. I think we had kissed that one night and I said, oh my goodness. And it was just kind of scary too because this was Joe, my buddy Joe from across the street, and now it's like my boyfriend Joe. This is really weird.
The couple became inseparable. 8-year-old Joey did not mind that his former babysitter was now his father's girlfriend.
It wasn't anything like, oh wow, Dad's interested in Kimberly or anything. Kimberly was such a familiar face. She was the babysitter, and she also was my pal.
Joe and Kimberly's relationship became hot gossip in the national tabloids.
It really hit the fan then. It was a little town, Alpine, New Jersey, little town, Joe ran off with the babysitter, you know. Thank God Robin Williams did the same thing, so I didn't look that bad.
Many times he tried to break up with me. I mean, he really, I have to say, you know, he said, you know, let's just stop, you know, you know, and I said, no, you know, I don't want to. And even though I'm 18, maybe that, you know, that's young, but I really know what I want. I really know that this is right.
Joe focused on winning his custody battle with ex-wife Nancy, who was intent on returning to Florida with the couple's 8-year-old son.
The divorce was not bitter. The divorce at all was not bitter. The custody was bitter. That was the whole battle thing over me. That was bad.
As Joe's friends and family huddled in court, all eyes were on the beautiful young girl on Piscopo's arm.
You got this crotchety old judge who happens to be a female. Kimberly walks in with the micro mini and spiked heels. Smart move. Smart move. She's sitting in the back. And I'm trying to say, but really, I love my son. I'm a responsible father. But how about Kimberly, huh? Va-va-voom, right? It was like so stupid. And I'm sure the judge said, what is this guy running around, doing all these dates around the country? And he's got the babysitter. I think I had no chance right then and there.
The judge ruled in favor of Joey's mother. And suddenly, Joe's nightmare scenario of losing his son became a reality.
It was like the worst day of their lives, the two of them. It was really, really hard. It was heartbreaking. It was just heartbreaking. I just remember the two of them crying in the hotel room. It was, oh, horrible.
Coming up, how did Piscopo sculpt his new physique?
You know, my sister asked me that question once.
If the show stinks, it's your fault.
They're not directors, but without them, there's never a first take.
I tell her what to do. That's what a producer does.
One of the things we know is they're in your way.
They're not actors, but they always have the last word.
Most people think, oh, that's the money guy.
E takes an exclusive look at the risk takers who turn fantasy into reality.
I said, just give me the biggest mother you got.
I feel obligated to entertain an audience.
What is a producer?
I was looking for a challenge. I got one.
An E! News special this Saturday at 8, only on E!
Give it to me. You're okay. Mom!
3 different kids, 3 different opinions about everything, except about what they eat. Chef Boyardee?
Kids love Chef Boyardee beef ravioli. It has the taste they crave, and it's real food that's real fast. Say yes to the chef.
Dr. Scholl's next stop, the LA Marathon. 26.2 miles.
I'm ready to go. We'll see you at the finish line. We gave a group of runners our Advantage Sport insoles to prove how much they could help their performance.
Go, go, go!
It's the only sport insole with the Advanced Force Line Energy Return System, which helps give runners a more efficient stride.
Hey, congratulations! So how did our Advantage Sport insole feel? This is the best that my feet have ever felt after a race. It was incredible.
The impact and the stress was just absorbed by the insoles. Awesome!
Woo!
Treat yourself right at drscholz.com. New on video. See the movie critics say has something for everyone.
All I want is a Bobby who smiles and tucks me in at night.
Rugrats in Paris, the movie. Available on video and DVD.
Strap on your snowboard for the day and your party dress for the night as Brooke Burke hosts Wild on Sundance this Saturday at 11, only on E!
The LA School Board spends over $9 billion a year, but our children face a textbook shortage. And Julie Kornstein has been a school board member for 14 years. Now you have another choice. Tom Riley, Valley businessman, Notre Dame graduate, volunteer big brother.
Let's end the school board's wasteful spending on the downtown bureaucrats. Our tax dollars should pay for textbooks, new schools, and qualified teachers.
April 10th, Tom Riley for school board, a new leader for the Valley schools.
In 1988, Joe Piscopo lost a bitter court battle with ex-wife Nancy over custody of their son Joey. Weary and disappointed, Piscopo put his career on hold.
I got hit with the thyroid cancer, and then I figured, well, okay, maybe I'll beat that, and then the divorce thing, you know, I could get over that, but the son thing, I couldn't juggle the career, I couldn't juggle this. I just pulled everything back and regrouped.
In the fall of 1988, Nancy Piscopo moved to Tallahassee, Florida with her 8-year-old son, a move that tore apart the Piscopo family.
The thing that we fought for most was to keep Joey in New Jersey, and Joe went to great length. He sacrificed a part of his career. He invested much energy into his child and keeping Joey up here. It devastated him.
I went down for first day of school, for Halloween, for certainly his birthday. I would leave him off at his mom's house, and I don't even think about it because I'll get upset, but I would look in the rearview mirror, and there was my boy waving to me.
In the fall of 1989, Joe and Kimberly briefly moved to Los Angeles, where Piscopo started to transform himself, emotionally and physically.
I always loved Venice. Was always cool. Santa Monica and Venice was always so happening and cool. And you could get anything here from health food, you know, to certainly working out.
Oh, that was the greatest. That was so much fun. We were living in LA, and it was a wonderful time. I mean, we got up, we had breakfast, we went to the gym.
Soon, the former Saturday Night Live funny man had a bodybuilder's physique.
These guys are like monsters around here, you know, and that's what made me laugh. Everybody said, "You're working out, gosh, you look so big." I didn't think much about it. Then my dear friends who I love so much, Joe and Betty Weeder, Joe Weeder asked me to be on the cover of Muscle and Fitness magazine. I'm thinking, who reads this magazine? Guys at Gold's Gym read this magazine. Me on the cover of a bodybuilding magazine? I did it almost as a joke.
The magazine cover raised many questions about Joe's techniques and the use of steroids.
The drug steroid thing, it made me laugh when people say did steroids because I was so small. Compared to these monsters, I knew what you would look like if you ever took drugs. I never took drugs. I never did cocaine. I'm anti-drugs, for the record. I never even thought about doing steroids. Never took anything like it. I took amino acids, I took the complex carbohydrates, I ate pinto beans. I got such a kick. They think I do drugs? Hey man, I must look really good. That's what I was thinking. I must be kicking ass in the gym.
Joe took the hits in stride and continued to push himself in the gym, a move that some say hurt his career.
The bodybuilding thing probably was not the best decision. Here was a guy who had made fun of so many celebrities, and when you go from being the person who makes fun of people to being the person that people make fun of, it's hard to get back your kind of comic credibility. I think it took him down a few notches in the world of comedy.
I didn't think people were watching or knowing. Like, people always go, Joe, oh yeah, you know, you were so big on Saturday Night Live or something like that. Hey, I'm glad you thought so, pal, because a lot of folks, you know, out in Hollywood did not.
I don't know, Hollywood's a mystery to me, I have to say, you know. I really don't think there's a lot of missed opportunities. First of all, he didn't fall off the planet.
In 1994, Joe combined his love for New Jersey with his passion for bodybuilding. Piscopo opened Jersey Joe's Gym, a nonprofit facility in the Boys and Girls Club of Newark.
We reach out to the kids from some of the halfway houses. You'll have kids here who are coming off of heroin, and we try to give them, we teach them through a smart mind, you know, and work it through your body, you'll be able to better your life.
Former New Jersey Governor Christine Todd Whitman.
I'd known about Jersey Joe gyms for actually long before I actually met Joe himself. Comedians sometimes are the most tender-hearted people around. And he was just a real pleasure to meet and to work with because his commitment is so genuine. You can tell he really does care about this state. He really does care about young people.
In 1994, 41-year-old Joe Piscopo got the best news of his life. His 15-year-old son was coming to live with him.
I really stepped out. I made the lunches. You know, I took him to school. I got involved in the school thing and had the greatest, you know, three years getting him through school. It was so much fun. When Kimberly was there was the nuclear family that I always wanted.
The only thing missing was a wedding ring on Kimberly's finger.
Well, we got engaged when I was 22. I felt like that was a little too young to be married, but it was quite all right to be engaged. So we had a rather long engagement.
On June 4th, 1998, Joe married Kimberly Driscoll in front of his family and friends.
That was just like a dream come true. It was amazing. Joe was wonderful enough to have this beautiful wedding for me. He really wanted me to have everything that I had always dreamed of having.
Even Kimberly's family forgot the past and welcomed Joe into the fold, although it took some time. Father-in-law, Frank Driscoll,
I said, Kim, you know, 10 years ago I wanted to shoot that guy. And here I am applauding.
Time changes, right? Time does change a lot of things.
Coming up.
This is Camden, New Jersey, which was once deemed the most dangerous city in America.
He was an explosive comedian.
He was crossing the line.
Decades ahead of his time.
They made it impossible for him to work in the 60s.
Lenny Bruce took incredible risks with comedy, but even bigger risks with his life.
He had tremendous problems with the law.
What fueled his destructive behavior?
He'd overdosed numerous times.
His risque personal life.
He's got honey in the bed. I guess she was nude too. Maybe they had 6 other people.
And triggered his mysterious death.
It was a crime scene, literally.
Lenny Bruce coming up next on the E! True Hollywood Story.
Bring in your appetite, people. Applebee's all-you-can-eat riblets are back. Our one-of-a-kind smoked riblets. All you can eat. It's got to be Applebee's. Eating good in the neighborhood.
Sport bikes are all about winning. And right now, the big winner is Honda. 600 Super Sport Champion and Formula Extreme Champion. Now it's time for you to win on the CBR 929RR. And the new 600 F4i. With your Honda card, get no down payment and monthly payments as low as $139 on the 600 F4i for the first 2 years. Deals to move on at your Honda dealer. The Honda CBRs and you. Everyone wins.
Wine should be for drinking and enjoying, not stressing over. That's why there's Woodbridge. An easy choice because it always tastes great. Handcrafted and aged in oak barrels for more flavor. Woodbridge. It's all you need to know about great wine.
Victory is measured in miles, minutes, and if you're really lucky, hugs. Achieve New Balance.
Escape the everyday, even if it's just for dinner. Red Baron Baked to Rise. It's our most incredible pizza yet.
After midnight, we don't let it all hang down.
Just one tiny Claritin relieves seasonal allergy symptoms for 24 hours without making you sleepy. So if you took one in the morning, after midnight, you'd still have hours and hours of relief coming. Claritin has a low occurrence of side effects, such as headache, drowsiness, fatigue, and dry mouth, similar to sugar pills.
After midnight.
Talk to your doctor about Claritin soon, during regular office hours.
How Mr. Sullivan eats a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
Oh, since 1932, it's the same thing. Nibble, nibble, nibble. Such a nibbler.
You're next, my dear.
Oh.
There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's.
For the latest on your favorite celebrities, check out Entertainment's homepage at www.eonline.com or America Online keyword E!
Throughout his career, Joe Piscopo made a name for himself as a dead-on impersonator and working stiff actor. But Piscopo's greatest achievement is his dedication to family and state.
He really loves the state of New Jersey. I mean, he genuinely loves it here. He's come back here. He's even, I think, taken maybe some even professional setback.
In 1998, 48-year-old Joe Piscopo founded the nonprofit Positive Impact Foundation, a New Jersey organization that helps troubled teens.
I'm so driven because of the stupid mistakes I've made in the past. I think that's why I give back so much now.
He's serving a really important function right now for the state of New Jersey. He is a member of our committee to deter crime. And in that capacity, he's been really focusing on young people, because obviously that's where you need to start if you're going to have a long-term impact on crime. And he's been very creative in what he's brought to that process.
This is Camden, New Jersey, which was once deemed the most dangerous city in America. We came down and saw pockets of so many special things happening, so many wonderful things happening.
Here. Here.
Yeah. Here in New Jersey, where there's a lot of character among the people, there is a lot of texture in the personality of folks from New Jersey, from Philadelphia, from New York, you'll find they really get involved. Folks like Shaquille O'Neal from Newark, you know.
Joe has done a lot for the city, and, you know, as long as a couple of people such as Joe and myself could do certain things for certain cities, you know, the world would be a better place, and I'm just trying to follow in Joe's footsteps.
When he's not helping New Jersey's youth, Joe Piscopo spends his days in a suit and tie, working with the IDT Corporation of Newark. Vice President Gil Nielsen.
We liked Joe Piscopo. He just was the type of guy you want as part of your family. And we started discussing some future, you know, business ventures that we're working on, and one of them was TV.TV, you know, bringing television to the internet, basically, broadband television. Right away, he wanted to be part of it. And one thing led to another, and he's now here with us. He's working with us. He's going to be providing content and doing some live programming.
Piscopo also started his own film production company, Avellino Entertainment, with partners Saul Feldman and Anthony Pope.
We hope to make a ton of money. I mean, I think that Joe and I have this vision or hope of being able to create engaging family fare.
New Jersey was 5th in revenue for films and TVs. You know, only behind New York, Los Angeles, I think Chicago and Miami. So we are certainly building up, and there's so much to film in the Newark area, the New Jersey area.
I hope he succeeds. I just think, you know, hey, I hope we bring it back to the country. Forget, you know, just not New Jersey. I mean, Canada's getting all the work.
Today, when Joe Piscopo goes on the road, he takes his son with him.
I don't feel like Frank Jr. Yes, people will say, oh, that's hokey. That's, you know, what is that? What is that? And, but it's cool, you know? Dad does it very tongue-in-cheek, so it's not like, you know, a lounge singer or something like that. It's more of a tribute to Sinatra.
And his Sinatra is the funniest ever. It's the funniest ever, because he gets the essence of it.
Piscopo also lends time to support thyroid cancer research and can never forget his own fight with the disease.
It's cured, you know, they say it's cured. But see, I'm like, I don't want to put the, you know, I don't want to get superstitious. It's cured, but I'm very grateful for that, but take every day at a time.
At home, Joe enjoys a loving relationship with wife Kimberly and their daughter Alexandra, born on February 26, 1999.
That's a relationship that was meant to be, without question. And to the point where I love her so much of that. If she ever left me, like one time we were at a table at the dinner, and Tom Cruise was kind enough, he passed our table, kind enough to say hi before he was with Nicole Kidman. And I thought Kimberly was just going to kind of get up and leave with him, you know? See you, Joe. And you know what? I would have understood. Because to this day, I wonder what the hell she's doing with me.
It should be the other way around. What's he still doing with me? That's how I feel. I mean, he's a wonderful person and a warm, caring father and husband. Very caring, very family-oriented, who's really, really concerned about the less fortunate as well, you know, concerned about his family, concerned about, you know, things around him, and just that he's got a wonderful heart.
In Italian, we always say la familia numero uno, and the family is always number one. And the biggest joy is having my son Joey, who's just my best friend, or as you hear in the background, a gorgeous, gorgeous new year and a half, Alexandra and Kimberly. I've just been very, very blessed that way. And I never, ever take that for granted.
I'm David Hartman. Join me tomorrow on Good Morning America. Good morning!
Yes, we have a fine show for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Phone the neighbors, wake the kids. This is an extravaganza you won't want to miss.